All right, so I'm truly ready to give up on this DE filter thing. I took it apart again. It worked for like a day. I didn't have any DE. I didn't think that would mess it up so bad, but if you run the DE filter with no DE, I'm gonna tell you right now, it's gonna run amazing for flow for about maybe an hour or two, or depending on how bad your pool is, maybe a couple of days. And then all of a sudden it's just gonna have so much stuff on the little feelers, it's gonna clog everything up. Like, I really still don't understand how it works. You put powder on something to block so that something else can't go through. That doesn't make sense to me. Like, I'm blocking it with a powder. I'm blocking the legs with a powder so that algae can't block it. I don't know. See, that's why I don't like it, because I don't understand how it works. So if you can explain it to me, or hit me up with like a scientific link of how it works, not you put the DE in, it works, it does this, it's a smaller particle. I don't care about that. I want to see like an animation or something of how it works, because I got damaged overseas, man, and my brain doesn't work like that anymore. But this is the last thing I'm going to do. So we are doing a degrease cleanse. I'm going to show you that right now. So this is the degrease cleanse. So I got all the little legs in here in the degrease. Wow, it was purple, but now it's kind of black. Might have to change that out. Rinse this off. It's coming out a lot whiter, but like, I can't knock off all the stuff yet. I want it to be clean before we hit it with the acid. And then we got muratic acid, and we're gonna do another another one like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and hose this off for a while and see what happens, and get some fresh water, dunk it back in, let it sit for another hour or so. And while I'm doing that, I'm gonna go ahead and vacuum this pool with the other pump little trick I just showed you. All right, so now I just did 2 with the degreaser. It's looking pretty good, but I'm still not satisfied. So I got a third one, and I'm gonna put like 2 cups of bleach in here, because there is still some black algae or whatever crap is on there. I'm gonna show it to you in a second, but we're just gonna go for this, man. You know, like, I'm so tired of spending all this money that now I'm just like, whatever, pour the bleach in, do this, do that. So we're gonna do this, and we're gonna put this in for 2 hours, and then we're gonna come back and spray it all down again, and then we're gonna do this one more time with the last bucket, and this time we're gonna do the muratic acid. So the degreaser that I used, I didn't buy any special stuff. I just used purple power, and it came out really good. So the white is crispy white, but you see it's still got, like, some places it's super nice, and some places it's still like stuck on there. It's like stuck. I can't get it off. It says I can hit it with a light brush, but I mean, I got the hose on jet. It's one blast. My pressure is not that great, but it should be knocking it off. If it's knocking it off everywhere else, you see this little stuff, I know this is probably where I would do it normally, put it back in, but it needs to look clean, like brand new. You know what I'm saying? So one more back in the bleach. I'm about to put this thing down in, soak for 2 hours. We're gonna come out and look at it. All right, so I keep coming on and off with this, soaking it. I did 2 times in the degreaser, and I did 1 time in the Clorox, because I don't know what this little stuff is. I can't get it all off, you know? And I don't want to take these apart, because some of the bolts are not looking too well like this. So I'm going to do the muratic acid now and see what that does. So maybe some of that stuff is scale. So this is like 1/10. So we're going to do almost a whole bucket. It's about a bucket. And I'm going to pour some of this acid in here. And we're going to soak it for 3 hours. So in 3 hours, it'll just start almost to be dark. And I'll come out here and take it off. Now, you want to wear gloves and all kind of stuff, and don't do what I'm doing. You know, don't let it splash in your face. So. I don't know, that looks like a lot. So, I think I used like a quarter of this. You said to 10. So let's put a little more in here. It's a little lopsided as well. You see it's higher on this side. I'm gonna move the bucket. And I'm gonna stick that octopus in, and then we're gonna set the timer for 3 hours and see what happens when we come back. All right, so this is the cleanest I've ever seen this thing. It's so sparkly white right now that if it doesn't work this time, we're getting rid of this filter. I just can't keep doing this, wasting water, wasting energy, buying chemicals to clean this, and it's not working. So let's go over what we did. So when I took this out the last time, it had more algae on it than I've ever seen before. That was great, but I think that's because I was brushing it and I pushed it all at the top, but I didn't have any DE left, so I didn't have any in. Worked for a couple of hours and then no pressure. I realized after doing some research that if you don't put the DE in first and the algae and particles get on it, it just clogs up the little fingers here and doesn't do anything. So let's go over what we did. First of all, I put it in bleach to try to kill the algae, and I let it sit for like 8 hours. And I sprayed it off real good. I put it back in the bleach. Then I took it back out, and then overnight for about 10 hours, I did 9 parts water and 1 part concentrated purple power. I didn't have any other degreaser, and it said you can use electronic dishwasher fluid that's degreaser. I didn't have any, so I went and got degreaser that I use purple power all the time in the cars and everything else. I love the stuff. You just have to really break down the concentration. You can't use it straight. We did that all night. I took it out and it came out a little better. Then after it got about crystal white as I could get it, I dumped it in a solution of 10 parts water, 1 part muratic acid, which is hydrochloric acid. Now, I did that for 3 hours. I took it out, I sprayed it again, came out almost perfect, and I was like, okay, it doesn't look like it damaged. See, I was really nervous it was going to eat some of this plastic or damage it. But I only submerged the fingers. I didn't submerge the head because it has metal on it. And then as soon as I took it off, I sprayed it down really, really, really well, so none of that got on the metal. Then I dumped it in the acid again, cleaned it again, and then last night I let it sit all night till now. It's probably noon, so another 12 hours in the bleach water. So now this is the best I've ever seen this thing. It looks like I just bought it brand new. If it doesn't work now, then I'm just totally giving up. I mean, I just don't know what to do. I need some people to help me. I need you to comment down below and tell me, like, am I doing something wrong, or is DE just not for me? Am I not understanding it correctly? Am I not putting the powder in? Like, I know twice I ran it without the powder and it just totally screwed it up. This is the first time I ever did the muratic acid. So it says it takes 6 pounds of DE. Let's go over the filter and show you what I did this time, because I saw something online that's a little bit different than what normally people do. So this time what I did was the 5 gallons of Clorox water, I put it directly in here because it was, I did Clorox twice, degreaser once, acid twice, then Clorox again. And this Clorox still smells like fresh laundry Clorox water when you wash your whites. It had no algae in it at all. It's just basically liquid chlorine. So I put that in there. That's gonna help out the pool. But I put 6 pounds of DE material directly in the bucket here. You could see a little on the side there, powder, because I'm nervous that because there's so much algae on top here, from dying from the algae side and the other stuff that you guys told me to buy, that it's gonna just suck it into the skimmer immediately. It's gonna get on half of the fingers while I'm pouring the stuff in, and I'm gonna have half the fingers good and half the fingers bad, and it's gonna be a problem again. So I decided to just go ahead. I saw it online that people are making a slurry, and then they just dump it right in, and I did that. And I'm probably gonna fill this up with a little bit more water, just so it's not clumpy in there. And then I'm gonna put it on, I'm gonna screw everything in, I'm gonna connect it all up, and then I'm gonna put the filter on. Now you see, I can do this with my DE filter because I put a thing in here where it disconnects. So like I have a quick disconnect here, but on the bottom, my quick disconnect here goes into a valve here. So when I wanna open the filter, if you don't have this shut-off valve, you lose all the pressure and your pump gets unprimed and the water goes back in. Now, if I would have put this DE in with all this water in here, you see the water level is higher than the pipe level. That would have started to go back through my pump and into my pool, and you don't want that. So you can only do this trick if you have a valve shut-off, or if your pipe comes higher than where the water level is, but I still wouldn't even try it then. So now, once I get this all on, I'm gonna turn the pump on. I'm gonna let it prime itself up to prime, or I'll probably spray some water in there and then put it back on. Let it prime for like 5 seconds so it gets pressure, and then I'll open this up so then it just shoots through. None of it goes back into the skimmer. All right, so let me get a little bit of work done. Let's turn this bad boy on and see what happens.